El miembro del Salón de la Fama de WWE, Edge, fue entrevistado recientemente por el medio canadiense Nation Network, entrevista donde el luchador volvió a hablar sobre el tema de un posible retiro. Y es que, como recordarán, hace tan solo unos meses el ex campeón mundial de WWE anunció su intención de colgar las botas el año que viene, planteando disputar su último combate en su tierra natal, Canadá. Según las declaraciones dadas en esta nueva entrevista, parece que el luchador sigue manteniendo esta idea, pues mencionó que ya no le queda mucho tiempo en el wrestling. Estas fueron sus palabras.
That's the key. You know, the first time I was told you gotta hang it up. That's it. You're done. And it was WrestleMania, and I retired as world champ, and that sounds Cinderella, but I just didn't know, and that made it hard to chew on all those years, you know. But I had to accept it and move on with what life is now, and started an amazing, beautiful family, and the acting thing started to kind of take a little. But when I had the chance to get this back, the first thing I thought is, I want to retire in Toronto, you know, because again, I know the window's not open for long, but if I can do it there, I think then I'll be able to go, right, I'm good. That was the last thing to kind of check off. You know, I didn't come back to like win 4 more championships or anything like that. I really just came back to have fun, try and help teach a new generation of talent that I never got my hands on before. And I always say we're not really, I call us storytellers, and come back and tell a hell of a story for 3 or 4 years and then ride off into the sunset and catch a whole hell of a lot more Leaf games.
Como ya todos saben, el icónico presidente de WWE, Vince McMahon, fue cesado de sus funciones en el mes de julio después de ser acusado de sobornar a trabajadoras de la empresa comprando su silencio después de haber mantenido relaciones con ellas. Tras su salida, Vince se ha mantenido totalmente alejado de WWE, a pesar de ser el accionista mayoritario de la compañía. Se ha especulado que podría llegar a formar parte del Salón de la Fama para el año 2023, ya que es casi un hecho que no regresará a la compañía y mucho menos a recuperar sus cargos. En las últimas horas, el medio de noticias Fightful ha publicado una actualización sobre este tema, informando que Vince McMahon se estaría alejando cada vez más de WWE, ya que no han tenido noticias de él desde hace varias semanas y no ha tenido contacto directo con nadie de la empresa. Tal y como se había informado en los últimos días, durante un show no televisado celebrado el pasado fin de semana, Kevin Owens sufrió una lesión en la rodilla derecha tras una lucha con Austin Theory. A pesar de que se sabía que este tipo de lesión que sufrió Owens no era muy grave, en un principio se rumoreó que el luchador podría estar fuera de los próximos shows de la empresa, incluido Survivor Series, donde está programado para formar parte de la lucha estilo War Games. Afortunadamente para Owens, parece que la lesión no ha sido de mayor gravedad, pues en las últimas horas Fightful ha informado que el luchador está programado para estar presente esta noche en Friday Night SmackDown y en todos los shows de las próximas semanas hasta Survivor Series. Esto obviamente significaría que la lesión no ha sido de mayor gravedad y no le será un impedimento para formar parte del próximo pay-per-view. Durante la más reciente edición de su podcast The Jim Cornette Experience, el ex trabajador y manager de WWE, Jim Cornette, ha hablado sobre la polémica en la que se vio envuelto la semana pasada Braun Strowman tras burlarse de los luchadores de baja estatura, llamándolos frijoles saltarines. Entre varias personas que lo han criticado, ahora se suma Jim Cornette, quien ha sido bastante duro con el monstruo entre hombres y le ha echado en cara que WWE solo lo ha contratado por su altura y que no vale lo que le pagan. Estas fueron sus palabras.
And no wonder they don't want to hear it from him. He's a big, jacked up fucking meathead that wandered into wrestling. And just like a lot of other big, jacked up meatheads that have wandered into wrestling over the last 100 years, he was overpaid and overpushed because of his size. And also because of Vince McMahon's fascination with giants. And that's not to say that he can't draw any money or can't fulfill any position in the wrestling business. But you see by the fact that they fired him a year or two ago because he was making a couple $1 million a year, he will never be worth that much money to this company. And I bet you he came back for less than he was making before, because he didn't get any other takers anywhere else that were going to give him a full-time job. He tried to start his own promotion, which is he bailed on as quickly as he got a fucking nibble elsewhere. Yes, you can take a big fucking empty-headed klutz like this and you can make money with him in the wrestling business. And sometimes through no fault of his own or no help of his own, you can make money with him in the wrestling business. And because of an accident of birth that he's born this size, that doesn't give him the goddamn justification to critique other guys who have spent more time and money and effort and pain and agony and blues paying their dues and working and etc. and going through indies and blah, blah, blah to get to where they are. They don't like to hear that.
Y hablando de luchadores de baja estatura, el miembro del Salón de la Fama de WWE, Dogg, también ha hablado sobre este mismo tema en la más reciente edición de su podcast, Oh Didn't You Know. En dicho episodio, el perro del camino habló sobre la influencia que tuvo el gusto de Vince McMahon en luchadores altos y corpulentos para que The Undisputed Era nunca ascendiera al roster principal. Dogg mencionó que Vince no los veía con la credibilidad suficiente como para luchar con grandes luchadores, poniendo como ejemplo a Brock Lesnar. Estas fueron sus palabras.
Look, I thought they were going to be gone too. I didn't think they were going to be the next four horsemen because, look, I don't think Vince saw them as the next four horsemen. I think Vince saw them as four smaller guys who cumulatively can do some damage, but I don't think Vince would see any of those guys facing Brock Lesnar in the main event of a WrestleMania. Now, whether you disagree with that or not, that's fine, and you can disagree with it all day, but you weren't the boss of the company at the time, and that's what he thought. So I didn't see them as that. I was scared, like I mentioned earlier, that they would be gone and a lot of our creative content would go with them. And it would be more difficult for us because we're lazy and want to do as little work as possible.
That's why they weren't
and I think they did have a better run in NXT than they would have had on the main roster, maybe for that exact reason. So, yeah. I loved having them there. I didn't want them to go away. So, look, I think everybody stepped up. And you see now, like, a lot of those kids that are on top are still on top in the wrestling game. They may not just work here anymore, but even the ones that work here are on top. The Rhea Ripleys, the Damian Priest, all of these guys that we're talking about are still stars today on a bigger stage. So this was first introduction into some of these NXT characters for a lot of mainstream wrestling fans, and I think it's paid in dividends,